Hello friends, welcome back to my predictions. This time I'll cover NVIDIA and Forex. We'll cover the Swiss franc against the US dollar. These are the financial predictions for this month of April. Today is the 1st, so give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, give me your comments, and let's get on with this. So for those of you who are watching me for the first time, I do financial predictions which are amazingly accurate. I'm averaging about 90% accuracy, sometimes more, sometimes a little bit less, but it never drops. It never drops below 80%. So it's amazing accuracy. No one else has these amazing trading signals, and I share this content for free. I share this so you can benefit from this, so you can also track the markets just like I do. So today we have that NVIDIA was a volatile day today, but really the prediction starts tomorrow. So this week, what remains of this week, we will see one guaranteed very volatile day, maybe two. Okay, so tomorrow has red energy, which means high potential for a correction, a recovery by the 3rd of April, and maybe the 4th could be volatile. There's no clear indicator for volatility. I mean, yellow circles always mean either range or volatility, but for guaranteed volatility, I always go for this pattern right here. For example, the 11 is shared by the green circle and the red circle. That always, 90% of the time, it guarantees extreme volatility. So maybe the 4th could be a relaxed day. If the volatility comes earlier, for example, tomorrow or by the 3rd of April, then we can see that maybe on Friday we can see a range day. Now for the next week, similar. From the 7 to the 9, we can see some of these days will go in range, but some of them will be highly volatile. Now, I just told you by the example that I gave, the 11 is also going to be very volatile, and the 11 is on Friday. So it's going to be possibly a very decisive week in the first two movements, either on Monday, if it ends up being a volatile day, or by Friday, which is the most likely candidate. These signals is basically show me that these first 2 weeks are going to be the most volatile. The others could also bring some nice surprises, but it's really these first two that have the most undecidedness. It's going to be, for example, one day completely up and the other completely down, erasing all gains. So we need to be prepared for whatever comes in these 2 weeks, because it's going to be volatile. Now, I also know what the trajectory, the direction, the overall trend for NVIDIA is going to be for this month, but I'm not going to share it publicly. So if you want that information, just contact me via email. So for the other weeks, we can see some powerful movements, uptrends around the 14th to the 15th. So really, the 14th possibly could be the most volatile day, one of the most volatile days in the week. And let's hope it's not mitigated by this 14 right here. So what really this tells me is that maybe that day will be so volatile that it will provide both long and short opportunities within that single day. Okay, because you see the box right here, the red box and the green box, they all contain the same day. It's also enclosed within yellow energy, which means possible volatility, which is almost guaranteed considering this pattern right here with the boxes. So it's going to be kind of decisive. It's going to be a very, very active Monday for that week. The other ones, maybe we can see another possible, I mean, this other week, one of the last, could possibly be one of the best, but it's also very late into the month, so it's going to be kind of hard, in my opinion, to see strong movements upwards, especially continuous movements, consecutive green days. So we'll have to keep an eye out for this week, but it could potentially be a very decent week for NVIDIA. Others, I mean, these first couple 2 weeks are going to be very critical, very decisive. Whatever happens in these 2 weeks, especially within the range of days which show extreme volatility, for example, from the 2 to the 4, from the 7 to the 10, these days could be what really makes this a good or a bad month. These days alone, this both range of days. So yeah, for the last week, I think it's going to be the worst, possibly one of the worst, if not, if things are not spoiled by one of these 2 weeks. But yeah, the last basically is only 3 days, from the 28th to the 30. So you can see, especially by the 29 and the 30, very strong corrections. So we also need to be prepared for that, at least for NVIDIA. Now let's cover the other chart, the other prediction that I have for you, which is a Forex pair. Okay, you have the Swiss franc against the US dollar. Now, Switzerland is a very interesting country. I really like Switzerland. It has a very fascinating history, not even talking about modern history. So yeah, it's a very, very important country, even though its size might not mean as much. It's like a facade. It's hidden something big. So yeah, anyways, let's get over to this chart. So also, the first weeks are going to be highly volatile. I can expect some powerful corrections around the range of days from the 2 to the 5 of April. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to see all of these days in red. This only means one of these days within this range of days is going to be a very strong correction. So 5 is not going to be a market day, I think. Yeah. So only to the 4th fix is right there. But yeah, expect some corrections around these days. Now, other volatile days could be the 7th of April, also the 10th, the 15th, the 16th. Right here, we're going to see some consecutive volatile days. They are going to be very interesting because it's going to be very profitable for both long and shorts. It's going to be a very crazy week, I think, a very crazy period where lots of movements, lots of action is going to be happening on this Forex pair. But yeah, the opportunity zones, we have 9 to the 10. The 10 also going to be a volatile day right here. The pattern that I just talked about and I always explain because it's important. Many people are still confused about all of this. You need to watch the tutorial. I think it's on my crypto channel, but because I am so busy doing other things, I'll have eventually to make another a specific tutorial for also these financial trading signals, which is also basically the same. Nothing really changes. But yeah, I am aware of that many people are still very confused about how my system works. But it's actually very, very easy to read it. So yeah, 9 to the 10, one of these days, very powerful uptrend movements. Maybe even consecutive green days, because it's 8 to the 9 completely in green, the 10 also in green, possible volatile red, and a correction maybe starting either on that day or in the 11th of April. So be aware of that, but you can see a potential for consecutive green days around this zone of days. Another extremely powerful opportunity zone goes by 16 to the 17. 16 also going to be a very volatile day. Just like I told you, 15 and 16 are going to be 2 consecutive volatile days. So it's going to be very interesting what this week will give us. It's going to be a very profitable week in potential. So you have to be aware of that. The 18, also a volatile day. It's going to be very... I don't have a clear reading as to where it's going because I'm seeing lots of potential for both green and red energies for that single day. So it's also going to be very volatile. So you can see basically from the 15 to the 16, with the possible exception of the 17 and the 18, 3 volatile days out of 4. in this range of days. It's going to be a very interesting week. Now, the final opportunity zone, or the pump zone, as I like to call it sometimes, around the 24 to the 25, it's going to be one of the least likely to happen, because we don't have really green circles right here to support this claim. So it's going to be possibly only, if I were to say, the 24 is the most likely candidate, because the 25 is also in red. So that means 25 could be volatile, but the most likely for a solid green day could be the 24. But again, it's very late into April. It's going to be very hard to actually see that. The final danger zone, which also, well, it's going to be around the 28 to the 29. 29 also very volatile day. So expect very strong corrections around this range of days. Some of the other yellow days might not be as volatile. Maybe some will be in range, especially those which are in between of several trends, especially different trends. For example, right here, the 13 is like in a sandwich after this green trend, and possibly the start of a downtrend on the 14 to the 15. Okay, maybe the 8 as well, 21, 22. Okay, you get the drill. So yeah, I'll continue do updates around these predictions as we go by. So yeah, just like, share, and subscribe. Give me your comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.